Good evening, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, taxi operator shot dead near Linstead. A taxi operator was fatally shot near Linstead, St. Catherine this afternoon. The deceased has been identified as the 37-year-old Keon Bartley, otherwise called Rimhead, of Bongo Town in Victoria District, Linstead. Reports are that around noon, residents heard explosions and made checks. Bartley's body was found in blood on the side of a road with what appeared to be gunshot wounds. He was clad in a pair of jeans shorts, a merino, and black shoes. The police were called to the scene, which was processed, and the body removed to the morgue. No motive has been established for Bartley's death. CRC open to reviewing citizenship requirements for Prime Minister. The Constitutional Reform Committee says it would be willing to review the citizenship qualification for the Prime Minister of Jamaica if Cabinet requires it. Its statement follows recommendations from some political commentators that the Constitution be amended so that only people with a sole allegiance to Jamaica can serve as the nation's head of government. The issue has captured the public discourse since opposition leader Mark Golding revealed to the news last Sunday that he possessed British citizenship and insisted that there were no legal grounds requiring him to relinquish his status. Currently, Section 39 of the Constitution gives Commonwealth citizens 21 years old and up permission to serve in Parliament. It also outlines that an individual who has been ordinarily resident in Jamaica for the immediate preceding 12 months shall be qualified to be appointed as a senator or elected as a member of the House of Representatives, and no other person shall be so qualified. However, speaking at Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing at the Jamaica House, CRC member Dr. Lloyd Barnett said the public debate regarding the duality of citizenship for a prime minister is something that the CRC would be willing to deliberate. If the cabinet asks us to reconsider the matter, I'm sure all the members will be quite willing to reconsider it in the context of that new dimension, he said. The CRC report, which has been tabled in Parliament, recommends that current references to Commonwealth citizens be removed from the Constitution and the status dealt with by ordinary legislation. It further states that Jamaican citizenship should be the essential qualifying citizenship criterion for membership in the Parliament. The question which has arisen is not as to whether Jamaican citizenship should be the essential qualification, but what is the impact where a person has a dual or other citizenships, and the approach which was taken by the Constitutional Reform Committee is that other citizenship, which as we know can result from the fact that my grandmother married someone else in another country, which gives me citizenship by descent, should not disqualify me, but to focus on the essentials of that duality, and that is whether or not the person has a conflicting allegiance, Barnett stated further. He explained that the committee examined the matter of dual citizenship in the context of established principles. So this new dispute, which has arisen as to whether the nominal holding of a citizenship should be a disqualification, is one that we did not consider in that context. We dealt with the substance, he said. The respected constitutional attorney further outlined that the majority of recommendations in the CRC report received a consensus from all members of the committee, and lamented that so much focus has been placed on the few issues that have not received a consensus. As you well know, in the last 2 days, we have been focused not on the consensus, but on the divisions, and although the divisions are in the context of the totality of constitutional reform fairly limited, we're concentrated on the divisions rather than unity, and it appears to be that that approach needs to be discontinued, he said. Barnett urged all Jamaicans to get engaged and help the process move forward. Meanwhile, Marlene Malhou Ford, Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, sought to assure citizens that the committee is working in their best interest. Sometimes you really have to have faith that those who are entrusted with the work are doing it the right way, and even if we disagree, even if we have other views on the matter, we need not to be contentious in expressing those views, because I believe that we are working for our beloved island home, she said. Commission foresees a challenge for law mandating private CCTV installation to aid cops. Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake says he does not foresee government preparing legislation anytime soon that will mandate business owners to install cameras at their establishments to aid the police in their crime fighting. Given that hurdle, Blake, who also has a master's degree in computer-based management and information systems, on Wednesday told the members of the Jamaica Police Federation to intensify discussions around the importance of closed-circuit television with members of the business community island-wide as part of enhancing the use of technology in crime fighting. We may have a challenge convincing the lawmakers to make it into law, Blake said, responding to questions from delegates during the 81st Annual Joint Central Conference of the JPF in St. James. I am usually an optimistic person, but I am not very optimistic in seeing legislation forthcoming now that is going to mandate businesses to install cameras, the police commissioner argued. He shared that he has been having discussions with members of the business community, showing them the value of having the CCTV system through area commanders. It's a negotiation where we can start the discussion around it, but we cannot rely on the implementation of such an act in order to do what we have to do, Blake said. With the installation of CCTVs by the business community, the government under its Jamaica Eye program is hoping to benefit by having cameras pointing to the roadways, which the police would use to help in their crime prevention, crime fighting techniques. In March, National Security Minister Dr. Harris Chang told the Standing Finance Committee of Parliament that his ministry is looking at expanding its CCTV surveillance. Jamaica Eye falls under the Plan Secure Jamaica and is geared towards creating a safe, secure, cohesive, and just society, thereby providing an environment for increased and sustained growth and prosperity. For members of the business and residential communities to participate in the Jamaica Eye program, they should have camera network systems that are located on the outside of their homes or businesses, should be facing a public space, and they should be able to connect to the internet. Mobe Mayor saddened by passing of Dr. Daniel Dawes. Mayor of Montego Bay, Councillor Richard Vernon, said he is surprised and saddened by the passing of Dr. Daniel Dawes, Chief Executive Officer of the Universal Service Fund. Jamaica has lost a great public servant. Dr. Daniel Dawes, up to the time of his passing, was an astute leader in the technology field, leading the charge at USF since 2019, Mayor Vernon said in a release on Saturday. He added that the city of Montego Bay and the municipality of St. James have benefited significantly from Dr. Dawes' instrumental role in establishing several community hotspots and access points. Dr. Dawes' fingerprints remain visible across several St. James communities, where residents are now able to access a free Wi-Fi for work and/or study. As a visionary, Dr. Dawes was always on a mission to bring technology closer to the citizens, bridging the technological gap that existed, he continued. The work of this great Jamaican will live on. On behalf of the St. James Municipal Corporation and the people of St. James, I want to extend sincere condolences to members of his family, the staff at the USF, and to his many friends and associates. Traffic restrictions to be implemented along Portmore Drive in St. Catherine. Motorists are being advised to expect traffic restrictions along Portmore Drive in St. Catherine over the next few days, starting tomorrow, as the National Works Agency undertakes drainage works. The roadway will be reduced to single-lane usage for 4 days between its intersection with George Lee Boulevard and Miller Road. Manager Communication and Customer Services at the NWA, Stephen Shaw, says that the work is being implemented in 2 phases. Both phases are being done under a contract that will see the replacement of a damaged drainage grating. The works are valued at just under $2 million. Shaw says that a second phase of work is to be done under the said contract and that traffic will also be impacted for 4 days. The date of the implementation on the second phase of the works will be announced later. Road users are being advised to exercise caution while the project is in progress, and obey the instructions of posted warning signs.